So I ghosted YouTube for like about 3 weeks to a month. And what had happened was, in this video, I'm gonna tell you 40 things that I've been up to when not making videos. Number one, I got laid off from my almost 7-year career at a company that I learned so much at. And I know that the person that started there almost 7 years ago is definitely not the same person that left the company on this accord. So for that, I am grateful. And as cliche goes, for every ending, there is a new beginning. And as uncertain and as unknown as the kind of climate we're all in this world, I'm trying to just hold on to the pieces of hope, to really use this as an opportunity to find that purpose and really move ahead that way and really step into my true calling. So if any of you know what that is for me, let me know. Number two, I made a few little home repairs or tweaks to things that I've broken or got broken or messed up. So I find something so cathartic in doing this type of stuff when you're in a weird phase. It's almost like trying to fix your life through these physical items, like my new floor that was popping up, the foundation that was laid is popping up, which I find no irony in. Thanks to my brother Nick for helping us fix that too. Number three, I did a pop-up drive-by to wish my employee well on her journey, as she was laid off as well. So trying to look at the goodbye as really a hello to a new chapter for us all. So that was super fun. Number four, I've also had kind of several lunches with coworkers and really closing chapters on a celebratory note. Number five, my good dear friend surprised me as well with reassurance and support as this new chapter begins. She literally broke into my house to decorate it, which is so sweet and not as scary as that sounds. Number six, I threw that same dear girlfriend of mine a surprise paint birthday party because she deserves to be celebrated. She's awesome. Number seven, I did real life things. I made real life plans. I had to make big girl life calls. Bills are apparently a real thing, you know, and money, even if you tell yourself every day, which I do, that it flows to you easy and you are abundant and prosperous, which I truly believe. These bills still got due dates even when you don't have a job anymore. So had to handle some logistical items as I step into this new chapter. Number eight, I visited a friend in Cape Cod. And this was just such a beautiful day where we got to go to different crystal shops and ordered an amazing Thai food. And we both practiced tarot card reading on each other. And that was the first time I actually gave a reading to someone from my intuitive tarot, beginning skills. So that was awesome. And it was just such a beautiful day. Number nine, I have been processing emotions through a little bit of dance, which I learned by going to an ecstatic dance session, which was really more of a life coaching session, a one-to-one, where we really processed and dug deep into some themes and patterns in my life, and then really danced it out and let movement and emotions come out through just letting your body flow. And I'm not gonna lie, it does look like every stereotype you're probably thinking about in your head, but boy, does it just feel amazing. And stay tuned because there'll be more on my channel about that in the future. So make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss that. Number 10, we got to see Bay's nieces. My Bay, you guys all know him from Bed with Bay series. His two little nieces. It was the first time in almost 5 months with all of the stuff that's going on in our world, and it was just a soul-touching moment, and they cried and we cried, and it was just heartwarming. Number 11, I got to meet a friend's mom at a municipal airport. She's a flight attendant and got to fly in on kind of this beautiful plane, and we got to have coffee and hot chocolate in a local airport diner, which I worked at for many, many, many years, and that relationship ended badly. So I hadn't stepped foot in that airport diner until this day that we met. And this really allowed me to transmute and make peace with that part of my past. Number 12, I had to deal with daddy issues that popped up from a message that was shared with me where I heard his voice and his sentiments toward me for the first time in give or take about 15 years. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack with that one. Number 13, I had my good friend Ariana from the Realm of Prosperity YouTube channel, which I will link below. She came down and visited from New York with her family, and it was just amazing and so much fun. And for those of you who don't know, Ariana and I actually met on YouTube. We were complete strangers, and now we are good friends, and I couldn't be more grateful. Number 14, I got to celebrate just women entrepreneurs and just bosses, just boss babes doing cool stuff that are in my circle. So for example, I got to celebrate my good friend and neighbor Renee, who really stepped into her calling. She got certified to be a yoga instructor, and she actually started leading her own classes. So I got to attend her first class and really support her and cheer her on. She's an amazing instructor. My friend Jen, she got her real estate agent license, and I got to attend her first open house in which she got an offer. And there is also a book signing that I got to attend for Ariana's book, 365 Days to Self-Prosperity, which there's gonna be a video all about that, but I have friends who are authors and real estate agents and yoga instructors. It's really cool to be in that energy of success, of stepping into purpose, and just really living what you're meant to do. I'm trying to get there, trying to figure out my purpose. Refer back to number 1 when I said I got laid off, and I'm trying to figure it out. Number 15, I got to celebrate one of the sweetest, empathetic, and funniest kids that I know, my nephew, and we did it in superhero style. It was a themed party. It was so much fun. And I might be biased because he's my nephew, and I might be biased because he calls me Abby the Great, but I just freaking love him. Number 16, I've been taking nature walks. It always helps me to just clear my head and really try to figure out what the heck is going on inside of me, especially right now as leaves are transitioning and there are different colors and even the weather is changing. It's just so crazy how what's going on inside of me, this transition, these feelings of falling quite literally get mirrored to me through the leaves falling, and just a reminder of that change. And I heard a quote from a friend about leaves actually this week that said, for anyone who thinks that the leaves falling are dead, they've never seen them dance. And that quote stuck with me, and I think it's just such a beautiful sentiment for how we look at transition, and again, that every ending is a beginning. There's life in it all. Number 17, I've been dealing with death. And unfortunately, I mean that quite literally, because a few people have passed, and rest in peace to all those that we love and miss, but also in a sense of just grief in general from all these types of changes and transitions. Number 18, I've been doing more yoga. Number 19, I got to try this really amazing modality called the Pandora Star. And what this is you lay in a chair, you just simply close your eyes, and this machine just flashes light at you at a rapid speed, and it connects to music and a program. And oh my gosh, the only way I can explain what you visualize is like being on a roller coaster of sacred geometry and colors, and I felt like a little kid just in pure glee with the most beautiful images. Like there's no way I can explain it. You just have to experience it yourself. And I think the program I tried was called Lsd Trip, and that's quite literally, I felt like I was on drugs without having to take anything. And again, it's just a beautiful reminder of all the power that we have inside of us already, just by brain entrainment, which I believe is kind of the terminology of how this actually works and training your brain. Like we are just freaking so capable of doing wild stuff with our brain. Number 20, I have been going to the recording studio. Manifestation is real, guys. I made a video way back called Making Money with Your Voice, and that's what your girl is doing. So again, more videos will be coming up in the future regarding that, so make sure you hit that notification bell. Number 21, your girl has been trying to keep learning Over the last few months and including now, your girl is trying to get all her certificates locked and loaded. I'm trying to dabble in a little bit of everything to understand what I truly like, where my interests lie, what skills I can bring to the table, and be backed with credentials. I'm gonna make a separate video on what those are. Number 22, I cleaned out all my dressers and closets and just went kind of wild one day, just be like, it all needs to go, quite literally. And moving things around literally changes the energy in a space, and I felt amazing after doing it, and even more amazing that it went to people who could actually use the things that I'm not using and no longer need. Number 23, I learned how to make homemade pizza dough in a cooking class with my family. Number 24, I started a morning routine, which I've been wanting to do forever. In this time of instability and uncertainty, I need some resemblance of structure so I don't go down that rabbit hole too far. Some of the things I've just incorporated into my routine is starting with meditation every morning, writing in my gratitude journal, some types of stretches, and a little bit of breath work. Number 25, I started volunteering at a local float center, which I am so pumped about because unemployment means no money for expensive spiritual modalities. So in exchange for this volunteership, I get to actually float whenever I'd like. So that'll play a huge role in my mental health, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Number 26, I had a beautiful night where I caught up with girlfriends and actually had some face-to-face time with friends that we haven't seen in a while to catch up on everybody's lives, which is always good for the soul. Number 27, I started a new TV series that's really an old series apparently, but it's new to me and I'm addicted, and it's pretty cool to finally have time for yourself to do things like watch TV mindlessly. And normally I wouldn't recommend that, but sometimes you just need a break from it all. Number 28, I finally finished a book in entirety. I've had so many books that I'm in the middle of, multitude, where I just could never get to the end or focus on one, and I'm so proud of myself. This is a really big win for me. Number 29, I wrote a poem, and that's a great thing because lately I've been feeling a little uninspired. So check it out on my channel. I just posted that recently. This poem is called Lessons from the Sea. Number 30, I went to the beach with Bay. He saw I was kind of in a way with my feels, feeling all the feels, and he captured me and brought me flowers and drove me to the beach where we watched a beautiful sunset and got to sit on the sand and actually have quality time and conversations. And it was beautiful just like that because he knows it's my happy place. So that sentiment alone meant so much. But the kicker, the cherry on top of this night, is that the ocean started glowing. Quite literally glowing, like bioluminescent. And I have no idea what happened or how this happened, but isn't this freaking incredible? Such a reminder as I was feeling down, like my light was going out, that no, baby, we all glow no matter what. We all always glow. Number 31, I didn't leave bed for an entire day. And I just want to remind everyone watching this channel, it's okay not to be okay every second of your life. There's ups and downs, and that to me is a form of self-love, is when you're honoring that emotion. That's why that last video I made before going on this hiatus was called Trying My Best, because that's what we can all do. We can try our best to be okay, but sometimes it's just not okay, and that's okay. Number 32, I made peace with and said goodbye to some of my relationships, and some of these people in these relationships, they don't even know that this occurred, but internally I've decided where I'd like to invest my energy and time and love, and it's for those that truly deserve it and reciprocate and show up. Number 33, I tried cupping for the first time. That was an experience, and I'm still trying to figure out if I loved it or hated it, and I'm still not sure. Number 34, again, I'm gonna make a whole video on this eventually, so click that notification bell, but We're almost at the end of a year, 2020, and I don't even have to talk about 2020. We all know what it's done. But what's more important is the future, right? And preparing for that and having hope for that. So I vision boarded with a friend, and we put on paper and poster boards everything we're trying to call into our life right now. Number 35, I picked up a waitressing gig in the same month that I ended that waitressing gig. And a lot of that was processing intention and the reason why I do certain things. And my self-realization with that whole thing was reverting back to comfort. You know, I'm going into a time where money is uncertain and survival is uncertain from a materialistic aspect. And this is something that I've done all my life, that I'm good at, that's easy, that I know will always be there. And it's a lesson in going back to those safe, comfortable places when we're being called to let that go and fully step into that unknown wholeheartedly. So, lesson learned. Number 36, I've been doing a butt ton of shadow work. Google it if you're not sure what that is, but it's work, man. Number 37, I've been making it a point to recognize and honor my own growth. It's so easy to think about the shadow work and all the issues and things that are going wrong. And I think I'm very much in that space, in that darkness, in that void for sure. But I've been making it a point to also acknowledge the good, especially in myself, and recognizing situations where I've grown and act differently, for example. So, for example, not reacting to certain people or situations the way I used to through anger or yelling or temper tantrums or not setting boundaries or from my ego, and then acted instead in those same situations in a different way through trying to understand and be better and have compassion and not repeat these hurtful behaviors and patterns. And I've noticed in doing this, and even in my noticing the change in me, how much more rooted and grounded and real and honest these relationships have become. Number 38, I'm practicing being open to receive. Giving for me has always been easy in my life, just pouring it out, but sometimes you forget to circle back to yourself and fill your own cup back up. And with that, I've been open to just receiving love, and I have this immense feeling of gratitude, especially over these last 3 weeks, couple months, for those people in my life that really showed up for me and let me receive their love in physical and materialistic ways for sure, but just more so and more importantly, emotionally. And with that said, I really want to just give a special thanks to the people that showed up for me in this time. And that goes out to Ariana and her family, to Renee, to Jen, to TC and his family, my sisters, my mom, Carmen, even some of my fellow YouTube friends here who sent me personal emails just checking in on me. Hey, you haven't been on YouTube in the last 3 weeks. What's up, girl? I mean, the things and words, and most importantly, that love that I've received, I don't think even the people I thanked here will understand truly what that meant to me and how much I appreciate it. Number 39, I have been doing other logistical things like physicals and doctor appointments and dentist appointments and adult things just to check up on myself, which is very much a form of self-love. We want to make sure we're all doing okay physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But also there's this thing called insurance that runs out for me, so I had to do all that stuff too. Lastly, if you're still here, thank you. You made it to number 40 on So What Happened Was 40 Things I've Been Up to and Not Making Videos. The last thing I wanted to call out here that I did was I've added to my crystal collection immensely, and I really do believe in the healing power of crystals. And one of the little gems that I believe calls to you. You should not be like running to this thing if you're not ready. It calls to you. It will find you when it wants to find you. It's not technically a crystal. It's called a tektite, right? Because it's believed to be formed by this meteorite impact. And people get very, very sensitive when you call it a crystal. It's called moldavite. You may have heard of it, and it might be the reason for this list of 40 things of transformation and shadow work and life changing and everything going on, because It's known to sweep in and bring transformation, which is why if you're not ready to shake things up and really process a lot of crap, don't get it. But of course, you can't attribute anything to any physical item. It all starts with you. To my soul vibers who, you're still here at the end, you've been here through this journey, you're here for it moving forward. That is why you are a soul viber, and I am so thankful for you. Don't worry, I'll be back on a more normal schedule. I just need to get my mind back right, and I'm almost there. So I'll see you soon, and I love you.